Hey, welcome back to the Ping Pong Flix Show. My name is Chris Wong. I got a huge buttload of DC updates for you today across the board, except video games. But the first up is all about CW. There's a lot of development over on CW. A lot of their shows are going to production. Also, there is a new show coming on HBO Max that's a spinoff from the Suicide Squad. The Batman is moving productions to somewhere else, possibly next month. And also, Courtney talks a little bit about the Suicide Squad, about the team dynamic there. Then, Zack Snyder is going to be shooting next month. More on that, including Ray Fisher. There is some involvement with Ray Fisher and a little bit more on Justice League, the content of Justice League, rather. All right, before that, I have to thank my newest member of the Ping Pong Flix Show. Thank you so much, Belle Reeve, for joining the Ping Pong Flix Show family and the rest of the Ping Pong Flix Show members here. You guys are the lifeline of this show, including all the subscribers that have subscribed to this channel. I am very thankful. Thank you so much for joining the Ping Pong Flix Show. All right, now on to the news. The first news updates for the day is that there's a lot of DC updates for the CW shows, and this is starting with the announcement that Swamp Thing will premiere on Tuesday, October 6th at 8 or 7 Central Time, I think. Stream next day free only on the CW. And so they have a little clip here of that show. Yes, Swamp Thing moved over from DC Universe over to CW. And this is our really, I think, our only hope now to even get a season 2. Swamp Thing is an incredible show. It deserves to have a season 2. I get it. It's watered down when it goes to CW. I think they're probably going to cut a bit of stuff out, but maybe not too much. Maybe the swearing, of course, but like, look at Supernatural. I mean, there's a lot of blood in that one, right? So maybe they can show a lot of that stuff over on CW, but the language is probably the only thing. But hey, if it does well in CW, maybe they'll do a season 2. I don't know if season 2 is going to be watered down, but eventually I hope that it will all end up on HBO Max anyway. But we'll have to wait and see about that. All right, the next thing is that Deadline is reporting that exclusive, The Flash, DC Legends of Tomorrow, All-American, other Berlanti production series set tentative production start dates. This is over on Deadline. With Batwoman and Riverdale are already filming in Vancouver, several more Greg Berlanti series are gearing up to go back to production. Supergirl is slated to begin filming its 6th and final season in Vancouver next Monday, September 28th, pending a deal with the local unions to comply with SAG's testing guidelines, which has proven difficult because, all this COVID stuff is really just hampering everything. But they're also hearing The Flash is currently slated to begin filming its 7th season October 1st. DC Legends of Tomorrow is targeting an October 5th season 6 start, both in Vancouver. All-American is looking to begin filming its 3rd season Monday. Of the remaining Berlanti production series, Superman and Lois, Titans, and newcomer Kung Fu are eyeing mid-October starts. Breakout Stargirl is on track to begin shooting its 2nd season at the end of October, while Doom Patrol's 3rd season is expected to start production in January. Okay, and then finally, Batwoman was the first Berlanti production series to start production. It has already begun shooting its 2nd season in Vancouver since September 3rd. So you'll probably see a little bit more of Batwoman there, including the new star who plays the titular role. And so that is pretty much all of it. Although Warner Bros. TV, the studio behind Berlanti production series, declined to comment on the new dates, but since it's coming from Deadline, I probably say that's probably true. So fans of the CW series, you are getting more stuff aside from the last season of Supergirl. And like I wanted to add that even though Supergirl may be canceled, there's still maybe room for maybe her showing up in Superman and Lois. Maybe they're going to do that Batwoman and Supergirl World's Finest that they kind of hinted at in the series, or have them show up in somewhere else. I mean, she is still in their Justice League, right? So it could still happen to see more Melissa Benoist as Supergirl, and that is for the CW. All right, on to the other series. There is a new series that is coming out, and this is actually a spin-off from the Suicide Squad. Peacemaker from the Suicide Squad is getting a spin-off series on HBO Max. What? Peacemaker? John Cena? What? That's great. Of all the things they're going to put on a series on HBO Max, they did Peacemaker. But you know what? I want to see it. He looks weird, but he looks probably be a badass. And the reason probably why they're putting Peacemaker as a spinoff, and they actually greenlit that, he was probably good in the Suicide Squad. They were probably impressed with him in the Suicide Squad, and maybe they know that the audience will want to know more about him, want to see more of him. This is coming from Variety. Suicide Squad spin-off series Peacemaker starring John Cena from James Gunn set at HBO Max. So HBO Max has given a straight-to-series order for Peacemaker, a spinoff from the upcoming Suicide Squad. John Cena will play the title role, of course, reprising his role from the film. The film's writer and director, James Gunn, will also write the series and direct multiple episodes, including the pilot. HBO Max has ordered 8 episodes of the show based on the DC Comics character, which is described as an action-adventure comedy. The exact plot of the series is being kept under wraps, but it is said it will explore the origins of Peacemaker, a man who believes in peace at no cost, no matter how many people he has to kill to get it. Production is slated to begin in early 2021, prior to Gunn starting work on Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. Also, The Suicide Squad is set to be released in theaters August 6th, 2021. Peacemaker is an opportunity to delve into current world issues through the lens of the superhero / supervillain and world's biggest douchebag, Gunn said. I'm excited to expand the Suicide Squad and bring this character from the DC film universe to the full breadth of the series. And of course, to be able to work again with John, Peter, and my friends at Warner Brothers is the icing on the cake. Cena will serve as co-executive producer in addition to starring. Gunn will executive produce via Troll Court Entertainment, with Suicide Squad producer Peter Safran also executive producing for the Safran Company, and WB-TV will serve as the studio. So, wow, that is incredible to actually have John Cena come back. In fact, he said this: I have said before that it has been a tremendous honor and an incredible opportunity to be part of the Suicide Squad and to work with James on what is going to be a fantastic movie. Cena said, I am unbelievably excited to have the chance to team up with him again for Peacemaker. We can't wait for fans to see this. Wow. So they look excited. HBO Max is definitely excited. Casey Bloys, who's now the chief content officer for HBO and HBO Max, said this: James Gunn has a unique ability to create an expansive universe while also bringing to life the soul and wit of each character. We look forward to a deep dive into the world of Peacemaker. Now, I know a lot of people have said, we haven't asked for this, we wanted that, but they're made it anyway, so it's still going to come out. And a lot of people, different fans are asking, why is this happening, right? So James Gunn, he put this out on Twitter with this new, I don't know if this is a poster, but that's the poster for Peacemaker in that stylish cartoon that he had there. But he also elaborated a little bit more about it when someone asked him why Peacemaker, right? And Brandon Davis said, this feels more like Cena. Peacemaker stands out in the Suicide Squad, so let's do more of that. So James Gunn did say that's true. He said, true, it's also DC coming to me and saying, if you could do a TV show about any character from the Suicide Squad, which one would you do first? And I was like, I'm having this idea about Peacemaker. I'm always driven by what excites me most creatively in the moment. He also added later on in comments from the fans that this may be just a start. There may be more characters from the Suicide Squad that he may also do spin-offs on HBO Max. He also said this when they're talking about it's not an origin, it's an origin or prequel. He said exploring the origins does not necessarily mean prequel. So for people who think maybe this means that Peacemaker could lived through the Suicide Squad, is this proof that he lives in it? Possibly. It could possibly be true. As he's saying this, it doesn't necessarily mean prequel. But I don't know if this actually means it's actually a sequel. So we'll have to wait and see about the fate of Peacemaker. I honestly thought that Peacemaker was going to be one of the characters that just gets killed off in the movie, but it seems like maybe not. Maybe he doesn't get killed off and he gets to go and have his own little 8-episode adventure and then get killed off at the end of that. Nah, I'm not sure. But it's kind of interesting. HBO Max series. HBO Max is really turning into like a DC Max, right? There's so much DC shows coming over from Gotham, the Gotham City PD, and also now ZACK SNYDER'S Justice League. Can we just get the Affleck series and Cyborg series and whatever series you can throw at it? Might as well. Just do it. Let's just restore the Snyderverse. But that's exciting. That's exciting for that. More on the Suicide Squad. Courtney teases team dynamic for in the Suicide Squad, and this is coming from comingsoon.net. He has a few quotes here that I thought was really interesting. While chatting with the 34-year-old star for this villainous turn in the Liam Neeson-led action thriller Honest Thief, comingsoon.net got the opportunity to chat with Courtney about the highly anticipated The Suicide Squad, discuss the new team dynamic in the James Gunn written and directed action pick. This is what he had to say. Probably because there was so much that had been established already, and I think James knew that was coming in, even though he's doing his own thing with the film. When asked about what his mindset was returning to the infamous Flash villain, I don't feel like anyone felt the need to abandon what we had kind of already established, but he's definitely the same guy. He's not a dramatically different Boomerang. It's just that the backdrop is a little different, and there's a whole bunch more people. So it's going to have its own feeling and flavor about it, but people are going to have as much fun with it, and we had a great time making it. So while joking that he doesn't believe Captain Boomerang will ever learn how to play nice with others, and that makes up for part of his charm and his status as a liability for the team, Courtney does express that there'll be a new team dynamic coming into soft reboot, but stating it's a natural thing for continuing franchises. And he goes on about Divergent, how the different movies, it was different. There's different people involved, different cast and crew, but essentially it's still a sequel, but it's just the way it is, it's going to be different because of the people you work with and the people around him. So that's interesting about Jai Courtney's comments about the Suicide Squad. Now that we're already heading into movies, one of the biggest movies that's coming out from DC that really everybody's kind of really getting excited about, even after when we finally saw the trailer at DC Fandom. And what I'm talking about is Matt Reeves, the Batman. The Batman appears to be going to film in Chicago next month. This is coming from Comic Book Now. They said that the Batman film to film in Chicago next month. And there's the indication for this actually comes from Screen Magazine provides a bit more context for the shoot, reporting that the production is set to film for 5 days across 2 weekends, October 16th to the 18th and October 24th to the 25th. Their report alleges that filming will take place in downtown Chicago and features extensive driving sequences to Chicago, which is cool because it just reminds you of the back then, the Dark Knight filming, where they had a lot of shoots back in Chicago. In fact, around the time that my wife and I were honeymooning over there, they were shooting Heath Ledger down the street. So it's kind of cool. So that's amazing to see the Batman taking place in Chicago. What a gritty place to show what Gotham looks like in that type of setting. So I'm all for that. Now, since we're talking about things that are possibly shooting in October, this came out today. Zack Snyder planning new Justice League shoot amid Ray Fisher claims that there's two bits of pieces of, or maybe three bits of pieces of information in this article that I'll go for the first one. The first one, of course, Zack Snyder planning new Justice League. I'm going to read the article for you here. The Hollywood Reporter by Boris Kitt. In October, director Zack Snyder will roll cameras for his extended cut of Justice League, working for Warner Media's HBO Max division on restoring his version of the maligned 2017 movie that he exited because of a family tragedy. The shoot, which will turn the Snyder Cut into a 4-episode limited series, is expected to bring back Ben Affleck as Batman, Henry Cavill as Superman, and Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman for new scenes, right? Remember that slate that Zack Snyder had put out, and Victor Koo, who won that prize, Mighty Pegasus 88, he's going to go and visit them on set. On the back of that slate, it said, on the back of that slate, it said additional photography, right? And I tweeted that out today. Yup, additional photography. The source is Zack Snyder. He said it right there. Please extend to the bearer of this slate the right to pass all security protocols and the permission to operate this motion picture scene and sync marker on the set of any additional photography for the motion picture known as Zack Snyder's Justice League. And so this slate, and it actually says Batman, Superman, Lois, or Martian Manhunter, however many takes to get it to be awesome. Now, this was back like before the Snyder Cut was even announced, and this is around the time we're figuring, well, he's going to need to do additional photography, and that's how we got that information from Zack himself. So, but I'll go on with this. I'll also set to appear on the call sheet for what is expected to be a week or so long shoot is Ray Fisher as Cyborg. So Ray Fisher's Cyborg also going to be there as well. Now, it doesn't indicate here Lois, Amy Adams, or Martian Manhunter, but it does have the big three. It has Ben Affleck as Batman, Henry Cavill as Superman, Gal Gadot as Wonder Woman. The Trinity themselves are going to be together shooting this. It doesn't tell you where either, right? Like it could be in United Kingdom at Warner Brothers Live in the United Kingdom, or here, or not here, but or in LA, right? Henry Cavill, I think he's still in the United Kingdom, so there, and Ben Affleck's over on this side, so it's like, well, where do you go? I don't know where Gal is right now, but where do you go, right? So I'm wondering where it's going to be shot. Is it going to be shot in UK? Do they switch off? I mean, this is in October, so in October, Zack Snyder shoots in UK, and in the same time, Matt Reeves, the Batman, shoots over in Chicago. It's like, are they switching? But I don't know. So I think this is kind of cool to hear them actually going to shoot. And as I said, Zack Snyder was probably going into production soon after the reshoots he did with Army of the Dead. It just seemed inevitable. And it's great to hear that now. It's kind of funny. We didn't hear anything from Zack Snyder, unless you count that last one, that last Vero post he did yesterday about Wonder Woman and how she kills things from other worlds before, as a sign or a signal saying that he's working back on Zack Snyder's Justice League. But if it's not, I think, I thought we would have gotten a post today when it came to this. But maybe that's the point. Maybe that's why we're not getting it, because of the whole Ray Fisher thing that's in this article, right? But I don't know. I mean, I'm going to get to that in a minute, but it does seem interesting that this came out out of the blue and Zack hasn't said anything about it. Ray did, but we'll get into that. The other thing I want to notice that Screen Rant put out this article, and it was actually from The Wrap. And it's funny that The Wrap also reported on this after, pretty much erroneously being wrong about last time, where they said that they're going to use, Zack's going to use Whedon shots, Zack's going to use the shots with Superman with the mustache thing, and Zack already responded that he would burn it down before you do one little picture or screenshot or what. I'm not sure what he exactly said, but that he would burn the whole thing down before even utilizing any of Whedon's shots. But now they're reporting that the Snyder Cut's budget is reportedly $70 million. $70 million for this whole thing. Amazing. Wow. That's nuts. But then, they did report back then, I think it was the Hollywood Reporter, that for DC Films properties that are being developed over on HBO Max, there were budgets going to range about 60 to 65 million. And it's 5 million shy from that amount. So even Stephen Colbert actually reported that as well. But $70 million, that just shows me that Warner Max has a lot of faith in this. They have a lot of faith in this. They saw the screening. They were there in February, saw the screening with Zack Snyder and the whole team, and they said, how much do you want, Zack? How much do you want to make this to happen? And Zack said, well, I have to do this, $70 million later, he's going to do that. He's going to shoot new scenes, additional scenes. What additional scenes is he going to shoot, right? And I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking if I were to guess, it would not be that big, but maybe that pivotal moment at the end of Justice League, possibly, where certain somebody dies, right? So I don't know, but we'll find out. I think, of course, when we watch the movie or the mini episodic series next year. But Grace Randolph had also put down a video and you can go ahead and check it out. She said that the Vision of filming confirmed. She has some new info, including the whole Ray Fisher situation as well. But let's just concentrate on the movie for now. But additional photography is that they shot the actual Green Lantern scene, the Batman part about it, meaning they shot Ben Affleck in his house, looking out the window and seeing two Green Lanterns visiting him. At this point, we're not sure if it's Tomar-Ray and Kilowog, or the newest rumor is that it's possibly Hal Jordan and Jon Stewart, which makes a lot more sense, really. I mean, you'd be like, what are those green aliens coming down, right? You might as well have some human lanterns visit him, and it makes a little bit much more, he'd be much more at ease before taking out his batarang, right? So if they shot the Batman part, then that means they probably will need to shoot the Green Lantern portion of it, and we don't know who's going to be the Green Lantern yet, right? So we'll figure that out real soon. But even though, Grace Randolph is still adamant about the Ryan Reynolds thing, but we'll have to wait and see about that. Now, other scenes, there's Superman in there as well, Wonder Woman in there as well. That's interesting to put in those scenes. So I'm still really theorizing what's going to happen in those scenes. I know other people had maybe even spoiler parts. That's why I'm not going to mention some of the scenes that I've been hearing. But also Martian Manhunter, right? Or unless they already shot that, I wonder if they're going to shoot Harry Lennox as well. And, I thought maybe they could have already, but I don't know. We'll see. We'll find out. And if that's true, we are going to get some behind the scenes, maybe some set pictures. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe Zack Snyder will share something. I would love it if he could share another picture of his Trinity back together again on set, wherever that may be, just to point out that he is definitely doing additional photography for Zack Snyder's Justice League. Now let's get back into the Ray Fisher situation a little bit. And I'm going to have to go back to the article so you have that context here. So the other part of the article that I'm going to read to you is in regards to Ray Fisher. The latter is noteworthy, and this is in regards to the context is that also set to appear on the call sheet for what is expected to be a weaker or so long shoot is Ray Fisher as Cyborg. Okay, the latter is noteworthy because Fisher is in a public stature. Let me go back to that. Ray Fisher is in a public dispute with sister Warner Media division Warner Brothers, which he accuses of permitting Joss Whedon, the director who took over from Snyder, to engage in misconduct and abuse while reshooting Justice League. Fisher also claimed that executives John Berg and Jeff Johns, who both since left the studio, enabled Whedon's behavior. Right? Warner Brothers declined to comment. Warner Media remains in business with Whedon, whose new show, this is interesting, HBO sci-fi drama The Nevers, is back in production in London. Oh, so they're still remaining in business with Whedon. Oh, interesting. Okay, so going forward now, I'm gonna shoot for it because it kind of just summarizes what he's been doing with all the different accusations and the claims. But I'm gonna show you to the part where apparently Warner Brother insiders recall to the Hollywood Reporter that the Justice League reshoots conducted by Whedon were a messy and hastily assembled affair. Excuse me. Snyder left the project in May 2017 ahead of a November release date. Whedon had to cram an extensive rewrite and reshoot and take over post-production. One person present at the reshoots describes a set filled with tension and says the director was difficult with actors. But this person also says they did not witness physical or other abuse. Johns and Berg were under pressure, another insider notes, as they were trying to deliver a tentpole and knew their jobs were on the line. Whedon did jettison many of Fisher's scenes, according to sources, and his directing style is described as the opposite of Snyder's collaborative approach. It also isn't clear if Fisher filed a complaint at the time. And also interesting to note is that Fisher is in talks with Warner Brothers to make a cameo in The Flash, a Justice League spin-off movie due to shoot next year. He has options negotiated for future appearances, including cameos beyond the initial film. But in earlier drafts of the Flash script, Cyborg was a much more active player than the one in the current script. Sources say the studio exercised its option for Flash, even upping its negotiated price for what's described as a 3-scene appearance. Fisher's side countered with a figure doubling that. Warner's turned that down. Negotiations have remained stalled for weeks. So it's interesting. This is becoming so when this came out, I was like, that's weird to have just one paragraph of the Justice League shoot and just have the entire thing be about Ray Fisher. And it seems like, again, no more Warner Brothers insiders are talking about that. Now, let's be clear here, though, that Warner Media is investigating Warner Brothers. Warner Media, Warner Max, okay, is the one in charge of the Justice League shoots. So whatever that Ray Fisher does will not affect the Justice League shoots. It will, however, affect Warner Brothers side, which is the Flash. So let's be clear about that. So we don't have to worry about Cyborg not appearing in Justice League shoots because that's a Warner Max deal, not a Warner Brothers deal. Ray Fisher's issues are with Warner Brothers, including many other cast and crew as well, right? But it is interesting to see that this thing had come out with those notes there, right? And I feel like, I think this is Warner Bros. Trying to show, throw shade again. Like they're trying to really show that Ray Fisher is out here for entertainment, which is different from what his accountability over entertainment that he keeps saying, that his negotiations and stuff like that. And I think it's almost like Warner Brothers is trying to give the Hollywood Reporter this information and say, by the way, tell your fans that this trouble, he needs to be quiet or you won't have him more as Cyborg. I almost feel like are they trying to pit the fans against him now? And Warner Media is trying to investigate this, by the way. And in regards to that whole Joss Whedon having a relationship with Joss Whedon because of shoots, that's also a factor as well. Because if proven true, like Jason Keeler says, they will terminate relationships with certain people, even though that, pretty much accountability over entertainment. So in one of those relationships looks like it's Whedon. Business with Whedon is at Warner Max right now. So, wow, this is a big development. Now, Ray Fisher also seemed to have caught this as he tweeted out today. It would appear that Warner Brother Pictures has gone from giving libelous official statements to one media outlet to becoming a source of purposeful misinformation for another. The people are onto you. The investigation is coming. Casting aspersions on me will not change that, right? wrongful misinformation, casting wrongful misinformation on Ray Fisher. Accountability over entertainment. So that when I saw that tweet, I'm like, okay, so I'm not crazy. That article did read like it was trying to put misinformation out there, coupled with information that would excite us Snyder fans. They're kind of like using the Snyder fans to get back at Ray. But when in actual reality, he won't affect the Snyder Cut because it's over at Warner Max, not at Warner Brother Pictures. Unless you're a Flash fan and you want to see Cyborg and Flash, this may affect you. But that is really weird, I'm really intrigued by this. Wow, they're really going to certain depths to try to cast shade over Ray Fisher in lieu of all this stuff, right? And like he said, Warner Media is doing the investigation, not Warner Brothers. And I would have liked them to just give up at this point, like just burn those bridges that accountability over entertainment. And if Grace Randolph, who if you have time, check out her video. She talks a lot about other people in different divisions, including DC Comics, that have come forward to her about Jeff Johns. And I'm scratching my head. I'm like, why would you work with this guy at this point? I get it. He's made some incredible stuff. And he's signed that over already to DC. So it's pretty much DC property. That should be it by now. I think that should be it by now. And it's just really, but I get her point that this whole publicity, all this investigation may look bad upon the Snyder Cut and the Flash and future things. But at this point, Warner Media, and I think they've already decided that accountability is over entertainment when it comes to Jason Kilar's and Ann Sarnoff's memo to the entire company. And I want to reemphasize, and I'm going to bring up Nicecast's tweet here, is this. Seeing a few articles saying that Ray Fisher's dispute is with Warner Media. It is not. It is Warner Brothers. I think if asked, Ray would say nothing but good things about Warner Media under AT&T. Warner Media is not the same as Warner Brothers. Okay, so I hope that's pretty much clear because I've also seen comments on that as well. Yeah, we'll find out more. I think it's not over yet. I think this is developing much quicker and larger in ways that we don't understand. And I'm wondering how much more Warner Media has to look into Warner Brothers and what will come out of all this. What will they find out? What will they find out about the Justice League reshoots? What will they do with it? What is expected for them to do about it? And what will come of it after this whole thing is said and done? But in lighter news, Justice League, new additional photography next month. I can't wait to see what that's going to be. All right, guys. Well, that is it for today. Thank you so much for subscribing. Thank you so much for watching. Like I said, if you love this daily DC content of movies, shows, and video games, and I'm hoping for more video games, please click the like, subscribe, hit that notification bell, keep this hot dog light on, and I'll see you next time. Bye.